So, man, I got my disappointed face on today, Jared.
Yeah, I noticed a little disappointment. Why? What's going on? What's eating at you? What's bothering you?
Yeah, so a leaker from Marvel, who was very reliable, came out basically saying the Avengers 5 lineup is not going to include any Avengers.
That makes no sense. Basically, you're saying they're doing an Avengers movie sans Avengers.
Exactly right.
Okay.
So let me tell you who's on the team, and we'll get your thoughts on this. So number 1, it says Captain America.
Okay, that makes sense. Captain America, which is now Sam Wilson. That obviously we're not getting old Cap.
We'd assume it's not Chris Evans, right? So Sam Wilson, Captain America, I'd assume.
Yeah, he was dubbed Captain America at the end of the show. But he, as to your point, he was never an official Avenger. In Age of Ultron, he made it clear that avenging was Cap's job.
Yeah.
And then after Civil War, he's on the run as a criminal up until Infinity War. Again, the Avengers never assemble. Tony Stark says the Avengers are done in Infinity War. So he's never been officially titled as an Avenger. So he's not. Yeah, I agree. There's no Avenger yet in this film.
Yeah. And then next we have Falcon. So we know it's not Sam Wilson Falcon. So we can make the assumption it's who?
It's got to be his buddy that he gave his suit to at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier.
I'd say.
It was that throwaway scene like, here, you hold on to this. And I think in the comics, he does become a version of Falcon.
Yeah, Torres. And he does become a version of Falcon. So assuming we don't have Chris Evans, Captain America, but we have Anthony Mackie's Captain America, and then we have Torres as Falcon, still no real Avengers yet. Maybe an argument could be made for Falcon. But the next one is Captain Marvel.
Again, not a member of the Avengers team. In Infinity War, we see that she immediately wants to go off and fight Thanos herself.
Yeah.
Rhodey has to tell her, we're all about that superhero life, but we do things as a team here.
Yeah.
And then when she does show up at the end of Endgame, it's Danvers, we need an assist. Not, wow, I'm so glad to see our team member show up to help us. She was always off doing other things. You guys aren't going to see me for a while.
Yeah.
So not an Avenger. She was never made an Avenger.
Couldn't agree more. And that brings us to the next one, Doctor Strange. No, I'm just kidding. Not even Doctor Strange. Wong is on the team. What is Wong with these people?
Yeah, that's funny. So he's the new Sorcerer Supreme. But you would think if there was an Avengers level threat that Doctor Strange would be involved.
Of course.
So that's surprising to hear.
Talk about surprising. Next we have not Thor, not Loki, but Valkyrie is our next non-Avenger to be in the lineup for Avengers 5.
Yeah, not an Avenger.
Nope.
She was deputized an Avenger in Endgame, just like all of the soldiers of Wakanda.
Everybody
and
was.
Everybody that showed up that day.
Yeah.
So everyone was a deputized Avenger for that fight. But again, we still have no Avengers on this team.
Agreed, yep. I'm going to burn through the next couple. Shang-Chi, definitely not an Avenger. Katie, I'm assuming they mean Kate Bishop, definitely not an Avenger.
No, Katie from Shang-Chi, his sidekick, who learned how to use a bow and arrow in a few hours.
Oh, yeah.
And helped fight when the dragon came. So no, Katie's not an Avenger by any stretch at all.
That's right. I forgot that was her name because I'm like, why would you write Kate Bishop as Katie?
Right.
So Kate Bishop's not even on the team. Then next we have AntMan and Wasp, and that ends the list minus the one person you can't argue is actually an Avenger. Hulk, they say, is on the team. It was previously She-Hulk.
I know they canceled her second series, but I assumed she'd show up in character at some point in the future. That's weird that she's not going to be, we won't see her again. Mm-hmm. Maybe we will, who knows? Yeah, no Avengers on that list. Ant-Man and Wasp, again, Ant-Man was on house arrest as a criminal.
Yep.
Never was sworn in as an Avenger. The Avengers didn't exist when he joined the team.
Yeah.
He joined during the division.
Civil War.
He was deputized in Endgame as an Avenger in that moment, but never made part of the official team.
Thanks for thanking of me.
So you're right. So far, no Avengers in this movie.
Yeah, Ant-Man was in Civil War when they were going through a dispute.
Something about some psycho assassins?
I'd like to ask, where's Spider-Man? He's supposed to be the leader of the Avengers. As far as we could tell the story, that's where it was going.
You thought they were gearing up for Spider-Man being the new Iron Man. That was like what Far From Home was about.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
Oh. I am going on vacation.
So yeah, no Spider-Man, which is crazy because, yeah, as we thought, they were building up to make him the new leader of the Avengers, right? The new Iron Man. Also, no Doctor Strange. He's apparently going to be off with Clea, according to the same leaker. He's going to be off with Clea doing God knows what, fighting Dormammu again. I don't know. And no Kate Bishop, no Yelena Belova, no She-Hulk. A lot of names missing, and a lot of big names that I wanted to see, like Daredevil, not in there. The Black Knight, Iron Fist, any of those, Jessica Jones, any of those street-level characters from the Netflix shows. None of them are going to be in it.
So based on where the shows and the movies had been going, I assume the Avengers 5 lineup would have looked like this. Captain America, Sam Wilson.
Yes.
Yelena Belova is our new Black Widow.
Yes.
Kate Bishop is our new Hawkeye.
Yep.
And then Captain Marvel, obviously. She's going to be their big power source.
Yep.
Next to Hulk and Thor.
Yep.
That's a full Avengers team. Spider-Man being the leader of the tech and the funding and all of that now that he has access to Stark Tech and his empire.
Sure.
That's a full team. It's almost like we've replaced all of the original characters with somebody new. They laid the groundwork for that. But what you just told me, none of that is happening. We're not getting any of those characters.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you're so right. Like, we have these people sort of stepping up, taking the mantle, just like Falcon did with Captain America. And I'm cool with that. But when I think of Avengers 5 and they tell me, dude, guess what? Katie's going to be on the team, baby. I'm like, who? Oh, you had to explain it's the chick from Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's funny. I can't believe she's being called an Avenger.
Yeah.
Infinity War, we had the heroes, but they were separated from each other.
Yeah.
This time, it looks like we don't have a team that's up to the task of an Avengers level threat. So they're just setting them up to get hammered is what's probably going to happen.
The leaker alluded to this. I think Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, perhaps even Thor might be taken out in some way, and that's why this like sort of secondary team has to step up to try and save the actual Avengers.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because we know it's leading to Secret Wars, and if they do it as a two-parter, this is the Infinity War type film where the heroes are going to lose, and then you get the next Secret Wars where every character joins the fray, even some of our old favorites like maybe an Iron Man, maybe an old Cap, maybe
I think so.
Black Widow from another universe.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd love to see if some of the Deadpool 3 characters make it into the Secret Wars.
Funny you should mention that. This same leaker said that Deadpool 3 will answer some of the questions of why we aren't getting these Avengers that we all are expecting and really want to see. I'm apprehensive about Deadpool 3. I'm hoping it'll be great, but we'll see. Marvel's let me down in the past. You haven't been as let down, so you have faith in Deadpool 3, right?
Oh yeah, I think Deadpool 3 is going to give us a lot of information. The new Marvels movie that came out, I know, and not a lot of people really liked it. So I think this will be the opposite. It's going to be a great film. Everyone's going to love this. And maybe Spider-Man might actually be somehow caught up with the TVA or maybe arrested. Maybe that's why he's not part of the team, because he caused that huge issue with Doctor Strange breaking the multiverse. It could be something like that.
Yeah, he almost caused like an incursion, basically. So we don't have these huge Avengers on the team, which is disappointing. Maybe Avengers 5 is the Infinity War, the one where they all lose to the Secret Wars, which is like the end game where they come back and there's redemption and they win. So now I hope it's sort of a return to form. And they don't have to copy the formula of those movies, but I do hope it's a return to form. And I hope the only reason that these second tier characters are our Avengers are because the real Avengers are in deep trouble. And so these are the people that have to come to their aid.
Spider-Man, he might get sucked into the Sonyverse in some way and not even be in 616 when this goes on, because not seeing his name on the list is crazy to me. But you're right, there are no Avengers. Where's Thor? Why isn't Thor in this list?
Yep, I have no idea. Valkyrie's on the list, but without Thor, it's just weird. But let's hope we'll get some good movies and maybe a return to form with Avengers 5. So I'm hoping, man.
Yeah, we need something to help create an Avengers team and a new one at that. So hopefully that's why we don't see an Avengers name on this list.
That, honestly, I'd be okay with. Let's just see where it goes. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed that, for more Marvel content, click right here.
Or right here.
Thanks. Laters.